Well, hello, God's good people. How are y'all doing today? I pray that all is well and y'all are prospering in the Lord. Well, we made another move. I feel like how when people have had a lot of babies and have their quiver full, and it's like, oh, you guys have another baby or you're expecting again. We made another move. Stayed in the same community, just moved the next street over. There's a whole backstory to that. But in the nutshell, we moved with the Lord's prompting and blessing. And we are amazed at what the Lord has done. I mean, even the price costs the same as what we were in, and this is larger. The builder had actually dropped the pricing. We prayed and asked the Lord about it. He said, move forward, and then told us to sell the last house that we worked so hard with our faith to obtain. And he said, sell it. And so we did. And I had to drop the price significantly and take over the listing as the listing agent from the agent who had it. And the Lord told me to drop that price. And when he said that, that meant I would have to come to closing with several thousand dollars in order to close. But that's okay though, because we've owned it less than a year, and it's a little bit of real estate 101, that would have meant we would have had to pay capital gains taxes on the amount that we earned from it if we would have cleared something. But because we had to bring some funds to closing, then there's no taxes that we owe on the transaction. So that's a part of a blessing. But then the other thing became, where am I going to get those funds from? Because we're going to have to come up with a lot of money, and I don't have it. And I've reduced my commission to $500 just so that I can reduce the price and take it from the other agent. Because, I mean, no other agent's going to list it, and I wasn't going to do that. Ask the great agent that we had to list it, who was our property manager, for $500. Wasn't going to do that. So anyways, then the Lord gave a plan of action to get it sold. It sold in less than 24 hours when I obeyed. And we had only had a total of 10 people that was interested just online in our property that saved it as a favorite. But all you need is one buyer. That's all. And that one had an agent who called us in less than 24 hours after I reduced the price. And we worked the terms verbally. Well, by phone before they saw it. So she's calling. I have a 24-hour window requirement in order to schedule a showing appointment. She calls and they want to see it that night. I'm like, well, she says, and we will offer a full price offer. I said, okay. And are they doing financing? Yes. How long? How soon they want to close? 30 days. I said, okay. And are you paying a commission? I am. So we're asking the questions, and she sees it. I let her show it that evening, and they like it. They put in an offer. It's a clean offer. Back up, when we went to purchase the property that we're in now to build, we sought the Lord on whether we should even move forward in it. And the Lord told Derek, move forward. And when we received the contract from the agent, the closing date on it was March 4th. March 4th. Move forward. And so I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, this is amazing. Well, closing is March 4th on the home that we were selling. Closing on a home that we were having built was March 21st. We needed a place to go for in between that time. So the weekend leading up to March 4th, we had no place to go. I wasn't even packed because I was dealing with putting out fires on some other projects that were going on. I was the realtor and the mortgage broker for a couple of files, and we were handling that. And so it was so interesting. And I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Where are we going to go? And on Saturday, I started researching, okay, we need to get packed up. So we found a storage place. The Lord just prompted my heart. I said, Derek, I think we should check out this storage place. And that's what we should do. And we should pack up and just send it all there, all of our things there. And so we did. We walked in. They were having a special 50% off the units. We got 3 units. We were good. Great price. Okay. And then I was like, okay, now who's going to move all this stuff? So on Sunday, the Lord prompted my heart on which movers to contacted them. Some weren't responding. I was contacting people on Saturday to move and didn't hear back. But on Sunday, the Lord prompted me who to reach out to. I did. Didn't hear anything until a couple hours or so later. And they responded back, we can move you this afternoon at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I said, really? Okay, booked. Let's go. So we did our deposits with that. That's Sunday. Sunday, I'm still saying, okay, now we got the place to move the boxes to. We've got the movers to move it, but where are we going to go and sleep for all this time? I can look at the hotel next door to the storage place. It's nice. They do breakfast. But Lord, all I got is what I got, because that's all we have, because we can't touch anything, because we're approved to purchase this other property. And then the Lord drops a name in my spirit, and I reach out to her, and she texts back my place. Because I'm like, do you know anybody that can, lease out their space to me for, a few weeks until March 21st? Because I know you know a lot of people. And she reaches back and she's like, my place. Because she had a place that was going up on the market that was supposed to have already been up, which I didn't know when she would have her place up or whatever. And the Lord knew. When she and I talked verbally, she said, what you didn't know is on my side of things, I was saying, Lord, I'm short this month. What am I going to do? And when my text came through and said, this is all that I have and this is what I need, it was the answer to what she needed and the answer to what I needed. It was a match made by God. Some people say match made in heaven. It was a match made by God. And so all that was taken care of, right? And I was like, Lord, thank you. She said, when do you need to move in by? I said, tonight. She said, okay. When we pulled up, she had just had her flooring people packing things up, and they had just finished putting down all new wood look flooring, beautiful flooring. And then her contractors had just finished resurfacing the tub, beautiful. And it was a 2-story townhome. Simeon, when he had heard we were not going to stay at a hotel, he enjoys staying at a hotel whenever we go. It's always so fun. He had, felt some type of way about it. When we got to her townhome, it was a 2-story townhome. He was so excited, so it answered even his desires. With it being a 2-story, he always wanted to see what it was like in a 2-story, even though when he was born, we had a 2-story. He just didn't know it. So God took care of everything. And then when we get to closing on Tuesday, now mind you, I still need these several $1,000s. So Tuesday's coming, I'm trying to work some things out, and then I'm sensing get your commission advance. So I started looking into that and start that process and getting paperwork from here and there. Tuesday happens, and I says, okay, we're going in faith to closing. I didn't stop it. I didn't say, no, I don't have the money. I went there, me and Derek and Sim, we signed the documents. It was a dry closing, meaning the buyers didn't get the keys. No funds were dispersed yet because they were waiting on our funds. And the buyer's agent, contacted the title company to ask permission. Hey, they got plans, they had movers and all that. I said, you know what, let them move in. I don't have a problem with that. They were so excited about that. I said, I will have the funds tomorrow in faith. And guess what? Wednesday came, we had the funds, and I'm like, how am I going to get them to you? Because I'm not driving. Derek's at work. What am I going to do? And so the Lord gave a plan of action for that too. And we were able to get the funds to them. Actually, Tuesday night, the funds dropped. Wednesday morning, we were able to get the funds wired to them. Derek got it taken care of. So, it was last minute, down to the wire. We had the funds wired. And everything worked out. But during that whole process, the thing that I want to get across is trust God, no matter what it looks like. One of my friends, longtime friends, coined, and I think she posted it too, something that God has always taught me. No matter what it looks like, and what I've always said, no matter what it looks like, we trust God. It can look like a death to your situation. It can look hopeless in your situation. It can look like no way out of your situation. But if God has given you a word, and if he has not, then go to him and ask his word on what he's saying on that situation, and then wait for his answer. And when you hear it and you know that it's God, you have whatever you've asked God for, and act like it and walk in thankfulness. And that's what we did. I didn't walk in doubt when the system was glitching, when I was trying to work the pre-approval to obtain the new home. I didn't walk in doubt when the house did not sell and we were getting close to closing. I did not doubt when he told me to drop the price, and I knew it meant we're gonna have to come out of pocket thousands of dollars. We did not doubt when we went to closing and still didn't have the funds. We didn't doubt when we didn't have a place to go. We didn't have things packed up because we were expecting something else to happen and we had a place to go, and it didn't happen. That's why it was last night. Normally we were packed up and have a place already booked. We're out. But this was different. But God is still the same, and he never changes, and neither should your faith in him. I pray that your faith in God fail you not. He never, ever fails when you keep your faith in him. He can't fail. Without faith, it's impossible to please him. Don't allow the enemy to destroy your faith. And then faith works by love, right? So don't get out of your love walk. Things come up. And I've had things to come up in those situations where a person tried to dispute me on professionally in a situation, and then a person tried to dispute me in a relationship, matter. Not my husband, not my spouse, but other people, And so you just have to keep your love walk with God and with his people, and realize the enemy's trying to get you to take the bait of offense, as I had read many years ago, that book. But stay walking in love, and don't let your faith in God diminish. He cannot fail. If he's promised you something, stand on it. If he said something about the situation, we stand on it. Now, you may have to have your faith encouraged. So grab to someone else whose faith is strong like yours, so that you can stay encouraged and y'all encourage one another, right? But don't let your faith in God fail when he's told you something, regardless of what it looks like, okay? Y'all be blessed, be encouraged, okay? Bye.